ene asema eda pono ni ti eyetiawa or say forgiveness in marriages and relationships. Bonife free ewo awade ene empnatwemu. Kame ho na yema counselor Akwaba Strongokra. Counselor.
Hello. So the first thing we need to ask is what is forgiveness?
True.
But answer what is forgiveness? Baba Yentias yes untumi mfancha you cannot live with human beings. Why? Because there are no perfect people, but there can be good people, as I always say. And so one of the things you should understand is this. If you can't forgive, you can't dwell with human beings. Because everybody you encounter, no matter how spiritual they are, they can still offend you because they are human. The only person who will never offend you is God. And God does not live among people. He lives in us. And he's trying to give us the grace to become like him. But we are not him yet. And so once we are not like God yet, you need to understand that as human as we are, Sebi, obinda wo me no yenipa. Me san wo honam, me wo dompe, me wo moja. Na me kan de tintia na me ka se de owo me so no ne ntetiye e de konfo aso o tete me konfo aso wo hwe me no e ye da ya o de mmerɛ yo ne tete me to mi so mi nyi no de abisua be ka me nipadua ho se ene o ma bi wa be be ka se natural enti bi bu befu kakra ye da ya bia meka kasa ntwi kakra meka sa tia o kakra na ni nyina chi my imperfection we express something we call forgiveness.
True.
The truth is, you need to understand that if you want your relationship or marriage to work, you need to have a vacuum. You need to have space. You need to accommodate someone. You need to adjust to be able to keep somebody so that the relationship will be moving or the marriage will be going. Number one, what is forgiveness? And I wrote here, I said, forgiveness is giving up my right to be offended. Eti yakase wo de me bone echemia na wo de me bone echemi se me a wo ye me bone no me de mepe ene maawo se me pene se why am me bone de aba me de achew. I need to make conscious effort that it doesn't matter what happens because you are human like me and I know me, I'm not perfect, you are not that perfect. Therefore if you offend me, I'll forgive you. So when we say what is forgiveness, we are saying forgiveness is giving up my right to be offended. To me, the me pemao. All says is here to it. So we name me, unshare me that you can't offend me. Even you offend me, I don't care. But once I give you my will, and it's my bepe wasem, or so I bepe masem. So I pen I me bepe wasem, and I'm a bed door, me the pen amount. It's me probably the amount. I'm saying that you can offend me. But when you offend me, me so my imagine is a me painty, be the better. So when we talk about forgiveness, it's not just about having mercy on me. It's about me, my right. That you can control my right the way you want. In fact, you are hurting my feeling, my right. But I've decided that I will let it go. So I make conscious effort that no matter the pain I am going through, I will forgive you. Number two, my right to demand payback. Now, when I talk about my right to demand payback, I am also trying to say that, listen, there will be no come to me a chiauka. Me, come to me a chiauka shanemu. Neso be being tino. My imagine said, well, me dia chow. I will not pay you back. That is forgiveness. So anybody you offend, anybody you hurt, and they decide to pay you back by hurting you, and they claim to say that I have forgiven you, deep down in their heart, they have not forgiven you. So let me explain. If you hurt me, okay, but in my mind, I know that one day I will pay you. And then I tell you that it's okay, it's okay. It's okay, babe. Don't worry. Don't say sorry. No, even before you offended me, I had already forgiven you, babe. Oh, forgiveness is of the Lord. Your friend wickedness in high places. Where you will be born again person the way you will be. But I know also they are chill. No. Forgiveness is when I am determined that I will not pay you back. Okay. In other words, I have let go. I have nothing. I am not holding anything against you. It's like God in heaven. When God says that I've forgiven you, He has actually forgiven you. When God says that your name has been blotted out, it has been erased. He's trying to tell you that I will remember your sin no more. So, yeah, now offend me. Now, if I can't forgive, you are fake. Wherever wherever you see love, you see forgiveness. And wherever you see forgiveness, you see love. Where there is no love, people are offended and bitter. And they bear grudge against one another. Forgiveness in marriage, it's an opportunity for a wife to look at the husband and say, babe, I will not pay back. Everything you've done to me against me that has brought bitterness, shame, and disgrace and reproach to the family, I have forgiven you. Oh, come on, Thursday. It's an opportunity to look at your husband and say, yes, you cheated on me. You lied. I know you are dating that lady. I have an evidence. This is it. But you know what? I will not pay you back. I have my right to pay you back. I can do something else, even if not exactly the same thing you are doing or you did. But forgiveness is when I decide not to pay you back. Forgiveness is too deep that you can't go like, but they are channel, but be feeder. You might learn lessons from it, but if you tell me that you are forgiving them, but you will never forget. In other words, you are trying to say that it is gone, but half of it is in my heart. I'm not a fool. Imagine God decide to say, I have forgiven you, but I will still remember your sin. And so when you sin, you trigger the anger of God from the past into the present. You would have died. And God wants us to learn his nature, his lifestyle, his character, his attitude, who he is. So it's not about tongue speaking. It's not about going to read the Quran and going to the mosque. It's about learning the character of God. And what is the character? The character of God. He forgives. He let go. He does not pay us back. So you can't just be speaking in Arabic or Quran. You read it. And you don't recite it like poem. You practice it because the master you are learning from, he does not pay you back according to your grievances, according to your pain, according to what you are doing. When you pay back, it reverses your life by paying back. You spend a lot of energy and enthusiasm by thinking and planning of how to execute pain in the life of another person. Time wasting. You don't need it. If you are matured and you are thinking of it, you don't need it. To make up your mind, I will hurt you back. It takes a lot of energy. And your brain has to work, calculate how to hurt the offender. Do you need it? No. Why don't you organize the same energy to forgive and move on, to become a better person? Like you are saying, people learn from their pain. If you learn from your pain, it helps you to become more experienced and mature than the person who is offending you all the time. Deep. So you don't need to waste energy and time. I don't personally have that time. Either I let go or I avoid you because I cannot let you steal my joy. True. No, you don't need it, I'm telling you. See, you see my face has changed. People cannot see. Is that our dear yet the many pebble and branching because people are holding grudges against their partners.
How can you be in a relationship and hold a grudge?
They are holding it. One way or the other, people are bitter. See, as we are speaking now, some people are so bitter. If you open the line and some women are calling in, born one ladies be I so bitter about that guy who impregnated them on San Shakolano. Sister Bishop will tell me nephew, why you massive, why you so bitter. Vows they never. We are talking to couples. Let there be forgiveness. Vows Day on the 14th is an opportunity to exhibit forgiveness.
True. True.
So remember, I just said that forgiveness is giving up my right to be offended. Number 2, I said my right to demand payback. Number 3, my right to expect an apology and for the offender to make things right.
Okay. So
when I say I have forgiven you, I have actually given you an opportunity to make things right. So let me explain. The moment you say, I have just let go, I have forgiven you, do you know what you are telling them? You are telling them that I give you an opportunity to reverse, go back and rewind, start all over again. I'm giving you an opportunity not to make the same mistake, not to mess up anymore. So forgiveness gives people an opportunity to think and change. Okay. So like you said, I reverse. Imagine the person decide never to change. Anytime you still forgive them, you are making them think that even though I've forgiven you, you better become a better person. Not for me, for yourself.
True.
Can I say this? Whenever you offend people and you think they are better and they forgive you, you become a burden to yourself, not for changing. And can I say this? Excessive forgiveness can make people change better than preaching. So anytime you give people an opportunity and say, I have forgiven you, you are helping them to change. So I wrote here, I said, my right to expect an apology and for the offender to make things right. Okay. So I wrote here, I said, forgiveness is most of all an act of the will. Okay. An act of the will. Me say, me wa me bepe. Me pe no, me chemu mienu, me pa me de be chompa me fen chew. Nyame nhye. I make a decision to forgive and I make a decision not to forgive. The act is between me and God. But the act of your will is that I've made a decision that this time I'm letting go. So if you decide to hold to your will, your desire, you can never forgive anybody. And that is why a lot of people can't forgive people. The act of their will, do you understand? And that is why God has created us as a free moral agent. True. I have decided by that act of my will with the child Valerie. One fan chewa. Utimi nka so de achew. But if you ask me for forgiveness and I don't forgive you, I'm still holding on to you. Forgiveness is not because you asked for. Forgiveness is when I forgive you.
So you don't have to ask anybody an apology?
No, for me, why I said right now, maturity tells me that forgiveness is an act of will.
It doesn't.
I don't need to wait for you to come and say,
make it whole.
I'm sorry, no.
On say obi busa for forgive or say fanebone chena, and then the money ye whole.
Can I say this? People can pretend in my days.
It's true.
And say, please forgive me. And still repeat. See, if you say sorry and you repeat, it's a sign that you have not changed. And the sorry you said, you didn't mean it from your heart. So, you keep triggering the heart of the person. What triggered you know? I said, "Biana, or sanko back." I said, it's like you are making a fool out of me. You don't feel your way into forgiveness. Huh? In fact, Boniface nyede. But God expects you to. Okay. Your health and your life expect you to. And then enya kwan ya wonam so comfortable sa sese bi obi abu kwase adi watama ye obi na ya e dey achew enya de, but it is a responsibility. It's an act ye hwese obeye because it must be part of your qualities. So I also wrote, I said, you choose forgiveness. You don't act forgiveness. And in spite of the hurt, you must just look straight into the damage and just say, I have let go. Why? Because you free your heart from every entanglement. To the child, one can say, you be out John. Wow, nature you benefit. And the other channel also benefits. But the wow, nature you benefit more than the other channel. Now, so I wrote here, I said, when it comes to forgiveness, be open and receptive to forgive. Sure. But when you fair, all the better be strong. Let the tears come though. But just look at them and say, please, you've hurt my emotions, but I have let go. Don't do that again. Please. So I wrote, I said, be open. In other words, talk about it, but not with anger, and be receptive to forgive. The next thing I talked about was the fact that make a conscious decision to forgive your spouse. Sometimes you need to look at the good side of the person and say that one side that is bad. I make conscious effort that my spouse, I will forgive you. No, I wrote here, I said, accept that you may never know the reason for the transgression or the behavior or the mistake. You know, sometimes we'll be offended, especially or yere and our fiancé and our fiancée. To Z. You want to know everything before you forgive. You can't forgive.
It's true.
No. So remember that sometimes you can't have all the reasons of their transgression, their behavior, or their mistake to forgive them. Don't listen to all the 3 days now poem. a coin of far so am I born in the buy. Am I yes, and son now what the ache. The only betcha baby now you don't need it. So please accept that you may never know the reason for their transgression behavior or mistake.
Okay. Okay.
And above all, like I said, refrain from seeking revenge.
Very important.
Refrain from it. No. Forget about the pain you have gone through. Stop looking for chances to strike. So I wanted to say, when it comes to forgiveness, be patient with yourself.
Wow.
Relax.
Wow.
Be patient with yourself. Tobo. Just heal yourself. A gradual process. When you are hurt and you forgive, don't expect that the same day you'll be made whole. Be free, sir. Emotionally, there will be, changes here and there. But be patient. Gradually, you become.